Smackdown vs. Raw 2006 was a game that truly set the tone for wrestling video games in the years to come. A part of that was thanks to an iconic story mode that featured engaging storylines and unique cutscenes. Today we are diving into this story mode with the father of the year, Christian, to uncover the spoils of glory this story has to offer. Let's get to it. We're thrown straight into a match with the world champion Triple H on Monday Night Raw. Being matched up with one of the toughest superstars straight out of the gate is not something that I love, but also not something I'm going to back down from. It was a battle on a random episode of Monday Night Raw, going back and forth. I don't think the world champion was prepared to be taken to his limits like he was, resulting in interference from Ric Flair.
Keep the title around the game's waist, and that includes taking out the competition.
Hey, I saw what Triple H and Flair pulled last week. This crap is getting really old. You okay?
I'll live, but they're not gonna get off that easy.
Listen, you're good, but this is a numbers game. There's two of them, but one of you. Dude, you've got to even that up.
What do you have in mind?
Hey, I'm one of the few guys in the Raw locker room who's pinned Triple H for a 3 count. I don't have an Intercontinental title defense tonight. So how about you and me team up and give Triple H and Flair a little payback?
Sounds good to me. But what's in it for you?
Anytime I step into the ring with the World Heavyweight Champ, my stock goes up. And when I hit him with the T-bone and pin him again, I'll be that much closer to earning the World Heavyweight title match I deserve. Let's do this.
Much to my delight, Shelton Benjamin has got our backs. Much to my dismay though, we are caught in the midst of a tag team match. This isn't going to be easy, and I'll be honest, going back to the controls of this game has been an adjustment to say the least. Nonetheless, we are here to compete. This match took all 4 competitors to their limits, with the tag team mechanics in full effect, as this match was a whopping 35 minutes. After taking it on Prettier, the Evolution representatives knew they weren't going to be able to hang, so they took the coward's way out and got themselves disqualified, only to delve deeper into the shenanigans post-match.
Listen up, Benjamin. All I hear backstage is you running your mouth about how you pinned Triple H this and you beat Triple H that. Well, the fact is, everyone knows you just got lucky. Simple as that. It was a fluke. And it's never going to happen again. Do you understand me? Never again.
What a man. What a noble champion. Once again, assaulting his opponent after the match is over. And damn it, Shelton Benjamin is right. He has beaten Triple H in the past, fair and square.
You heard Triple H, JR. It was a fluke. He says Shelton Benjamin isn't in his league, and from the looks of things, he's right.
Our next match has got us going one-on-one with Ric Flair in a submission match per our request. Ric Flair has always been a tough obstacle in these story modes, but I can tell you that he is no Triple H. And for that,
I'm thankful.
It was intense, and this game does not play around. But eventually, we were able to hit the Unprettier and weaken Ric Flair to make way for our submission victory, though that was just the beginning this evening.
My God, that's John Cena and the Big Show from Smackdown. What the hell are they doing here on Raw?
I can't believe this, JR. Somebody call security. Look out, Triple H.
My God, that thug John Cena is choking the life out were down but not out, by God.
I don't think this is over, JR.
Not by a long shot, King. But why were those SmackDown superstars here on Raw? And what's going to happen next?
Triple H really goes in on this promo, but it takes quite a while, so to save you some time, I'm going to summarize.
You have been warned.
I am the game, and this is the Nature Boy. Space Mountain is closed for repairs, and the desperate housewives will cry to their fat husbands. Smackdown hurt my friend. Now I will hurt Smackdown. My Christian impression is worse than my Triple H impression, so I'll just hold off on that. We come out to point out the hypocrisy of Triple H's position, and Triple H responds that this is different and doesn't involve Smackdown. Eric Bischoff then appears and announces a SummerSlam match that will consist of Triple H and I taking on what I can only assume would be John Cena and Big Show. Eric Bischoff wants us to head to SmackDown, but that was already in Triple H's plans. Triple H wants nothing to do with us, but we are clearly still going to be involved.
Triple H and Flair in the ring right now?
I am the game. Woo! And tonight, I'm coming to SmackDown to find the guys who kicked my ass. And made my father, the Nature Boy, cry like a little girl. Woo! Say, Nate, why do they still call you the Nature Boy, huh? Aren't you about 90? Maybe they should call you Father Time.
But seriously, yo, no one can say that SmackDown didn't make an impact on Raw last Monday. We did just what we wanted to, and that was punk out the best that they got.
Let's see now. 10 for Triple H, 16 for Flair. Raw is never going to forget the day SmackDown took out 26 world champions in one shot.
And now we're supposed to be scared? Because Triple H is leading a posse to SmackDown? Please. He shows up here, he's gonna get more of the same. They can't see me.
They're here! The Raw superstars are here! Here we go. This is gonna be a rocket buster.
It seems that everyone is full of Triple H impressions, I guess. But SmackDown is clearly feeling confident and wanting the smoke, and you can rest assured that the Father of the Year can and will provide that. This was a brawl by all means, but someone has got to get pinned for this thing to end. A preview of SummerSlam was on display, and I will definitely say I will appreciate the time I have with Triple H on my team because this man is overpowered. There wasn't much that was pretty about this match, but after a couple unprettiers, we were able to secure the pinfall victory here ahead of SummerSlam.
I understand why you're teaming up with Triple H tonight. John Cena and Big Show have got to be taught a lesson, and you guys owe them, but don't get too cozy with them. I'll be back on Raw tomorrow, and I've got some unfinished business with Triple H and Ric Flair that I plan to take care of. You know I respect you, and I hope you've got my back the way I had yours. But if you let them punk me out, you'll be making a big mistake.
Okay, Shelton, I'll keep that in mind. But right now, I gotta focus on Cena and Show.
We've arrived at the biggest party of the summer. We will be tagging up with the world champion, set to square off against two SmackDown goons in John Cena and Big Show. This clash at SummerSlam is sure to be a classic, as the fate of each brand hangs in the balance of this 2-week feud. Triple H has proven to be a valuable ally, and I know we will cross paths again, so I'm happy to let him do some of the heavy lifting. John Cena made it difficult to end the match, but we were eventually able to hit the Giant with another unprettier, ending the match in the favor of Monday Night Raw. Just when Triple H and I were gaining some level of camaraderie, Shelton Benjamin returned to shake things up.
Oh no! He can't do that! Triple H and Flair are defenseless! Somebody needs to stop him!
They were partners
Raw. I'll tell you one thing, though. I'd hate to be in Shelton Benjamin's shoes when Triple H gets his hands on him.
I called you out here tonight on Raw because I want to give you a very rare and valuable present. 2 of them, actually.
Oh my gosh, 2 presents, JR. It must be his birthday. Imagine celebrating your birthday with Triple H, JR. That's gotta be great.
I'm pretty sure it's not his birthday. And I've for damn sure seen the kind of presents that Triple H gives out.
The first is a thank you. From me to you. For watching my back in our match against John Cena and Big Show at SummerSlam. Of course, I didn't need your help, but you made my job a little bit easier.
I can't remember the last time Triple H thanked anyone.
So that's 1. And now that that's out of the way, here's number 2. Last night at SummerSlam, you didn't do a damn thing when Shelton Benjamin ran into the ring and attacked Ric Flair and I with a steel chair. Normally, that's the kind of mistake a guy like me would make sure a guy like you regretted for the rest of his life.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
So here's your second present. A free pass out of my ring and out of my life. But I'm warning you, this is a one-time offer, so don't blow it. Do the right thing and don't step between Shelton Benjamin and the ass-kicking he's going to get tonight.
Straight out of the gate, we are forced to make a decision: side with Shelton Benjamin or stay out of it. Given the fact that Shelton Benjamin is one of my all-time favorites, and we even just endured the most awful game mode I've played in a wrestling game yet with him, so we're going to back up our boy here. Shelton Benjamin put on a good match, but we know that we aren't getting paid by the hour. So ultimately, as manager, we took it upon ourselves to help our guy get another victory over the game, albeit by countout. The following week, we are booked to lock horns with the world champ, Triple H, as I'm sure he's looking for some revenge for our prior interference. I'm not gonna lie, Triple H is an extremely tough opponent, and continuously facing him is getting exhausting. Another banger was put on between Captain Charisma and the King of Kings, though Ric Flair was not going to allow a pinfall to occur. However, he had no issues with us applying a sleeper hold to secure the submission victory before chaos broke out.
Stop it! Stop it right there! This has gone on long enough. I am sick of the interference and the cheap shots. You two are going to settle this in a rematch at Unforgiven. In a World Heavyweight title match. And just to make sure that Shelton Benjamin and Ric Flair don't get involved, it's going to be a steel cage match.
Did you hear that, King? A steel cage match for the World Heavyweight title at Unforgiven. And Flair and Benjamin are barred from ringside.
Unforgiven is right. I don't think Triple H is gonna forgive Bischoff for this one, JR.
You heard it from Eric Bischoff. The stage has been set for Unforgiven. The World Heavyweight Championship is on the line in a steel cage match. This was going to be a battle, and it was going to take everything we've got in this steel cage match for this World Heavyweight Championship in September. While we've put on some bangers before, this match was elevated to another level of brutality that we have yet to see in this series. Triple H didn't make it easy, but we were eventually able to hit a big time on Prettier, and could it be Christian, the new World Heavyweight Champion?
Cut the music! Cut the music! An obscure WWE regulation has just been brought to my attention. As it turns out, the title cannot be contested in a steel cage during the month of September. And since this is September and that is a steel cage, I've got no choice but to void the referee's decision.
What on earth? You gotta be kidding me. I've never heard of such a thing.
No, I think he's right, JR. That sounds like the Virgil Runnels Amendment. That's been on the books for years.
Hold on. Hold on. Due to the extraordinary circumstances surrounding this title match, I feel that it's only fair to vacate the title until a proper rematch can be made.
Vacate the title? What the hell is Bischoff playing at?
We're back in action, going one-on-one with the British Bulldog. The rage that is flowing through Christian from being shysted out of the World Heavyweight Championship will keep us safe from any chin locks and propel us forward to a convincing victory for Captain Charisma here.
Hey now, don't get cocky, Daddy-O. Hopefully you'll be as good in the ring as you seem to be with the ladies. Because the excellence of execution requested a submission match. And I gave it to him. He said something about putting the past behind him here tonight.
A submission match, huh? Well, it wouldn't be the first time Bret Hart tapped out Montreal to a legend in the making. See you around, Jimmy.
Everyone knows that Bret Hart has some very unhappy memories right here in Montreal. It's likely to be an uphill battle for his opponent in this submission match, and you've got to figure that Bret's out to exercise those demons here tonight.
I hadn't even realized how savage the lines were right here, and Christian held no punches and verbally decimated the Hitman. But now we are faced with the challenge of a submission match. The excellence of execution certainly wasn't going to make it easy, but here in Montreal, the Hitman's bad luck continued as we were finally able to make Bret Hart submit after weakening him with a couple unprettiers. Christian's chaperone duty on this Legends tour isn't over, and we've got quite the tall task ahead of us, and that's a Hell in a Cell match with Mankind and The Undertaker. Triple threats are always so volatile, and this unpredictable environment will only add to that element. However, Captain Charisma is hell-bent on establishing himself as the most legendary superstar in WWE today, and a victory here could really make a statement and maybe get us back on track towards the championship. Mankind once again narrowly escaped his doom, and we picked up another big victory. Stone Cold Steve Austin is on Smackdown stirring the pot, and these actions would eventually land us in a tag team match teaming alongside the Rattlesnake to take on The Rock and Hulk Hogan. What an opportunity this has turned into for Christian to sun all of these legends of the ring. Austin and I made a formidable team. It was a battle that went back and forth, and there were moments of doubt, though in the end we were able to pick up the tag team victory following more than a few unprettiers. Back on Raw, we have got ourselves featured in a Legends Only Battle Royal that we clearly belong in. Bret Hart, Mankind, The Rock, Hulk Hogan, and Stone Cold Steve Austin all stand in the way of our triumph here, and we aren't going to hold anything back. We managed to eliminate the Immortal early, and we were steadily handing out signature maneuvers for these legends. The Rock vultured a pinfall on Bret Hart after we hit a superplex on him, and we promptly took out Mankind shortly after. Stone Cold hit The Rock with a stunner, but had depleted his energy, and we were able to finish the monumental clash with a pinfall over the Texas Rattlesnake.
That a sight. The only thing legendary about you is the beating you just took in the middle of this damn ring. Mankind may be one dumb, psychotic sumbitch, but he's earned something you ain't got yet, and that's my respect, and that's all I got to say about that. And now that it's just you and me, I suggest you collect your damn teeth, put your little sock back in your pants, and drag your lumpy ass back to the boiler room before Stone Cold changes his mind, stomps a mud hole in your ass, and walks it dry.
While I appreciate having your respect, Austin, I beg to differ on just one point. Mr. Sacco may in fact be little, But to be fair, it is just a bit chilly in this arena. What's more, I'm content to take my leave, as Japan is one of the few places I can find live nutrition without being harassed by some sort of animal rights enforcement. But before I go, I offer what I like to think of as legendary words of encouragement to our would-be legend. Have a nice day!
You know, Jimmy Hart is supposed to be managing this tour, but it seems like he's lost control of some of the legends.
I think you're right. Looks like I'm gonna have to take matters into my own hands.
So, what are you gonna do about Steve Austin and Mankind? Next week in New York City is your last chance to settle this. That crazy Mankind reached into his pants, grabbed a sock, and shoved it right down your throat. Yuck! That is so gross. I think he deserves a little payback next week. Yeah, but Stone Cold's just as guilty. Plus, he's meaner. And you might never get another chance to face a legend like him.
Who says it's gotta be an either-or choice?
What do you mean?
Maybe I can only get one official match sanctioned for next week. But that doesn't mean I can't find one of those jokers somewhere else beforehand and get a little payback.
I like your plan. So, who's it gonna be?
I'm not sure when we decided we wanted to play Peacemaker here, but it clearly got us into some hot water. We've gone on the hunt for some smoke from the legends who have decided to band against us. This would lead to finding Mankind backstage and ensuring he in fact does not have a nice day. Following the brawl, we're going up against Stone Cold in a first blood match. The Patriarch is truly being put up to the test in numerous categories. Can we muster the fortitude to continue to fight? First blood matches are typically all about brutality, though I shamelessly tend to take a strategic approach, using the tools available around the ring area, which clearly works well for me, and we put Steve Austin down. This will mark the end of the Legends Tour for us, and as we approach Bischoff to collect the title shot we were promised, we find that Eric Bischoff is once again screwing us over, and we've got no title shot coming our way at this moment.
Listen to me very carefully, Eric. I said I'd go on that world tour if I came home to a title match. I kept my part of the deal. So if you think—
Take your hands off me right now. You've already crossed a line, and if you ever want to get anywhere near a title again, you'll let me go immediately.
Fine, Eric. Have it your way. Just remember, what goes around comes around. Come on, Christy. Let's get the hell out of here before I do something we're all gonna regret. This isn't over between us, Bischoff.
We start the episode speaking with Vince McMahon, where we find that we've got the option to lock up the number 30 entry into the Royal Rumble if we can win a triple threat match, and that's an offer we can't refuse. We dive right into said triple threat match, where we find Muhammad Hassan and Shawn Michaels waiting for us. Hassan, the number 1 entrant, and HBK, the number 30 entrant, were committed to making life as difficult as possible for us, and made for quite the obstacle to overcome. This match was highly contested, but thanks to a couple of unprettiers, we were able to emerge victorious, which should supposedly make us the number 30 entrant into the Royal Rumble. On the next episode of Raw, we find ourselves competing in an over-the-top rope battle royal, with no indication of potential consequence of the result. I hope it's not much because we were tossed out rather quickly. These matches are always pure chaos with so many things going on at once. However, through all of the calamity, it would be the incomparable Eugene to come out of this one on top. Despite the loss, we are still in prime position to leave the Royal Rumble with a title shot at WrestleMania, barring any major shenanigans.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, earlier tonight we witnessed a classic bout for the World Heavyweight title. So before we begin the Royal Rumble match, allow me to formally introduce you to your new World Heavyweight Champion. You see, despite Eric Bischoff's apparent desire to keep the World Heavyweight Championship vacant, Raw will indeed have a champion to represent the brand at WrestleMania. And speaking of Eric Bischoff, I plan on personally coming to Raw tomorrow to get an explanation from him as to why he's been vacating every title on the brand. Now remember, the man who wins tonight's Royal Rumble will earn a title opportunity at the greatest sports entertainment spectacle of all time, WrestleMania 22. Yes, The road to WrestleMania begins right here, right now, in this very ring.
No chance, so that's what you got.
Fun fact here, despite Mr. McMahon announcing Triple H's victory earlier in the night, it's rather clear that Kane should actually be the World Heavyweight Champion. Nice going. Regardless of who is champion, we're coming into this Royal Rumble determined, and what may be more important, fresher than any other competitor, as we have the coveted number 30 spot. Although historically at this point in time, there had not been a winner at the number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble yet. It had come down to a collection of superb Intercontinental Champions. Chris Jericho and Christian made up the final two and went head to head in an encounter that could truly go either way. However, we were able to get the upper hand, hit Y2J with an unprettier, which would weaken our foe, allowing us to go over and win the Royal Rumble, securing a world title match and beginning the road to WrestleMania. Vince McMahon then did what he promised the next day, made an appearance on Monday Night Raw to determine the cause of Bischoff's cold feet to crown a champion.
Well, Mr. McMahon, as everyone knows, I used to be in charge of WCW, the most dominant force in the sports entertainment industry. What was it? 88 weeks in a row that we beat this very show in the ratings?
Long story short, Bischoff is still salty over WCW and reveals his plan for sabotage from the inside. But Mr. McMahon seems to be way ahead of Bischoff.
And sports entertainment.
Save it! It's JBL, right?
What?
You see, I've known about your pathetic little scheme for months, Eric. Well, JBL's gonna get a bit more drama than he bargained for when he arrives here tonight. You see, I've got someone waiting for JBL in the parking lot. The man who won an opportunity to challenge Triple H for the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania.
That's me.
In case you haven't figured it out by now, the only thing you are is, you're fired!
We've now found ourselves matched up with JBL, who was Bischoff's partner all along, in a parking lot brawl, a fight then ensued, giving the partner no time to even change into proper attire. A suit was ruined, and a plan was foiled as we brutalized JBL here.
On behalf of all the Raw superstars, I taught Smackdown a lesson about what happens when you try to mess with the dominant brand of sports entertainment. And Vince McMahon gave me his personal assurance that there will be no more interference from Smackdown until after WrestleMania. Which is just how I want it. I've shed blood, sweat, and tears to get to where I am today. The World Heavyweight title is a crown jewel in our business. And it brings out the best in every superstar that comes near it. Eric Bischoff could never understand that, and that's one reason why he's the ex-general manager of Raw.
Amen to that.
And speaking of the World Heavyweight title, here's the World Heavyweight Champion, Triple H. He won the title at the Royal Rumble, remember, JR?
How could I forget?
You know, I usually disagree with this joker about damn near everything. So I'm as shocked as anyone else to realize that we're on the same page this time. This is the crown jewel of our business. This is the ultimate prize. It's the last thing on every superstar's mind when they go to sleep at night, and the first thing on their mind when they wake up.
I have to admit he's right, King. If the World Heavyweight title isn't on your mind, you're in the wrong business.
And the single, ultimate reason this title means so much is because it's around the waist of me. The game. Every loser in the back thinks that if he can wear this title, he might one day be good enough to be mentioned in the same breath as Triple H.
Imagine that, JR. Who wouldn't want to be mentioned alongside an all-time great like Triple H?
Oh, please.
But listen to me very carefully. This title is a part of me, and I am a part of it. Without the title, my life has no meaning. You may have your opportunity against me at WrestleMania, but you'll never beat me for this title. You'll never take away that part of me, so take a good look now, because this is the closest you will ever come to it as long as I'm around. And why? Because I'm that damn good.
Oh my gosh! Triple H just knocked him out cold!
What a noble champion. I tell you what, Triple H makes me sick. He just won the title, and I already can't wait to see somebody take it away.
Stand back! There's a hurricane coming.
Now listen up, you dastardly villains. The Hurricane is here to bring you to justice and truth, honor, and integrity to the World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, yeah? And how are you gonna do that exactly?
By relieving you of that title, of course. With justice on my side and my Hurrah powers at my disposal, an evildoer like you doesn't stand a chance. For one night only, I will take you on as my Hurrah sidekick and join forces with you to defeat Triple H's evil schemes. The battle is joined.
We find ourselves dealing with the aftermath of our last encounter. Triple H and Ric Flair have challenged the Hurricane and I to a tag team match, and it's important we make a statement here and accept the challenge after getting bitch slapped by Triple H. Though once the bell rang, we were able to impose our will as Ric Flair wasn't much more than a glorified spectator, and alongside the Hurricane, we'd take care of business and get out of here with a victory.
Here's the Hurricane and his sidekick in the GM's office.
That's for damn sure.
Oh no!
You've got to be kidding me.
The highly impressionable Jonathan Coachman is in charge of Raw for the time being.
What's up with that?
And with that being said, we are put in a submission match against Ric Flair, something that would become somewhat of a tradition in the story modes over the years around this time. Regardless of his ineffectiveness last week, Ric Flair is still someone that should not be taken lightly. Old Man Nate here was extremely resilient, almost beyond belief. However, after multiple unprettiers, we were finally able to weaken Ric Flair and force him to submit before the big title match tonight.
Feeling that Triple H isn't very concerned about tonight's title defense, JR.
The odds may be stacked against the Hurricane, there's no doubt. But that young hero has all the heart in the world.
Stand back! There's a hurricane coming through.
King, you know what they say. Anything can happen in the WWE.
And that sledgehammer.
I can't say it's uncharacteristic, but Triple H has snuck out of this match without dispute, leaving the Hurricane laid out in the ring. However, things continue to stay bizarre as we are put into a rather random situation the next week, a match where we must win to stay #1 contender, despite winning the Royal Rumble. If that's the way the general manager wants it, then so be it. Chris Jericho would deliver one of the toughest oppositions we've experienced thus far, which made for an exciting match, only to be tainted by post-match chaos.
Surprised that Triple H and Flair couldn't keep their noses out of this. Of course, with noses like theirs, it's tough for them to keep them out of just about everything.
Come on, Jericho! Get it!
No! Hey! The deal was that I'd stay out of the way after the match. I didn't say that you two jackasses should throw me out of the damn ring!
Deal? What's Jericho talking about?
Oh, what's the matter, Jericho? Did you get hurt taking a little tumble out of the ring? Were we too rough for you? Well, let me tell you something. You're gonna get it a lot worse than that when I give you the first World Heavyweight title opportunity after WrestleMania. So let me ask you, Was it worth a little beating? Or do you want to head home and cry yourself to sleep?
Oh, it's absolutely worth it, Triple H. And don't misunderstand me. I can take whatever you dish out. But if you try and double-cross Y2J, you're never gonna make it to WrestleMania, Junior.
I can't believe that Chris Jericho would sell his soul to that devil, Triple H.
At least he got a good price for it, JR. As long as Triple H retains the title at WrestleMania, Jericho's the next #1 contender.
In the following week, we are back going head-to-head against Y2J. In an attempt to get some payback, we've challenged Jericho to a rematch in a TLC match. While that may put us at some kind of disadvantage going into the biggest match of our career, we want the smoke, and the smoke is what we got. A physical match was in store, and Ric Flair's presence added a very annoying element. But Jericho was the one at the disadvantage, as Captain Charisma is rather well versed with foreign objects and weapons. An unprettier would seal Chris Jericho's loss, but that wouldn't be the end of this encounter.
Looks like Coach bit off more than he can chew. I can't say I'm sorry to see it, but I am sorry to say that it looks like Triple H's henchmen are still running the show here on Raw.
What did Coach expect? Talking to two former world champions like that. If you want to order Raw superstars around like that, you'd better be able to back it up. Say, that gives me an idea.
What are you talking about, King?
I'll tell you later, JR. But first, I've got to give Mr. McMahon a call.
The King has got an idea, and that idea ultimately led to him becoming the interim general manager for the time being. A long cutscene was held explaining our next endeavor, a first blood match against the opponent of my choice, presumably keeping them out of our hair for the WrestleMania showdown. We chose Y2J, as he has given us the most trouble by far. Another brutal contest was in store, but pinfalls didn't matter here. The only focus was dealing damage, specifically on Y2J's cranium. Eventually, we were able to bust him open and pick up another victory on our road to WrestleMania. The cycle of facing the same few superstars continues as we once again go one-on-one with Ric Flair. I'm getting real tired of seeing these red boots in the ring lately, so we promptly take care of the Nature Boy and waste no time seeing as WrestleMania is a mere 2 weeks away. Though there was seriously something the game held against me, as we really could not get a clean pinfall opportunity seemingly ever. Flair tried to sneak his way out of it as well, but we shut that down. This match took way longer than it had to, but we were finally able to get it done, only to fall into more post-match shenanigans.
What a shot. Another 2-on-1 mugging by the game, and no one's doing a damn thing about it.
Where did he come from? It's been years since that idiotic psychopath showed his mask around here.
He's a WWE legend. I have no idea why he's here, but I'd say his timing is impeccable.
There goes Triple H!
Long story short, the legends are back. Jimmy Hart is the new general manager, and Mankind is his right-hand man. We're going to be put into yet another exhausting tag team match the week before WrestleMania. Another long-winded promo at the start of the next show would reveal that Triple H and I will be squaring off in a Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania, and also set the tone for the match this evening. And in said match, I was more than happy to sit back and allow Mankind to deal plenty of damage, as I do have a very important match in a matter of days after all. Mankind and I would isolate Ric Flair and bring home one more victory before WrestleMania. It's finally time. A Hell in a Cell match for the World Heavyweight Championship against the man who has been giving us issues since episode 1, Triple H. For a long time, we've been overcoming odds to get here, and Christian is ready to capitalize on the push he never received from the WWE and reach the top of the mountain. This was a tightly contested match as Triple H had no intentions of releasing the championship. Triple H is relentless in this game, but we came in at peak performance. His offense was aggressive, but the Patriarch was determined to come away from this one on top, and that we did as we were finally able to hit the unprettier that would end Triple H's title reign.
Give him credit, JR. But he showed the world that he had what it takes to beat a champion like Triple H, and on the grandest stage in sports entertainment. Look, it's Triple H. He's climbing up the side of the cage. This is going to be the shortest title reign on record. There's no way our new champion is getting up from that. And someone call a doctor for Triple H.
Well, you better call a veterinarian, because he's an animal.
Christian has become world champion, and the push that never was has climaxed here at WrestleMania. And even though Triple H tried to sabotage us and ruin our moment, we stand tall. But that'll do it here for this story mode. Thank you so much for tuning in and following along. Check out some of the content that you can see below, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take it easy.